If we, what I'll do is I'll ask Frederic the first question. So it's just sort of, in a nutshell, if you had to distill the essential elements of the contamination control strategy, what type of things would you want to flesh out and prize out of what's involved?
No, that's a great question. You know, and I think it's an important one for everyone to think about when they're developing their contamination control strategy, right? So I would go to PDA Technical Report 90, where we defined, right, our foundation. Then on top of our foundation, we talk about the design, and then on top of that design, you talk about how you qualify and validate that design, and then how are you monitoring those processes, and then the governance structure on top of that, and then you're having your feedback loop in and among that through either your change management program and or your deviation management program, right? But I think the key piece is the foundation, right? And the foundation is your knowledge, right? So that's technical knowledge, scientific knowledge, process knowledge, knowledge management, and then your quality risk management program, your quality culture, and then your personal awareness. And the speaker beforehand, I really liked his discussion because, you know, one of the things that he brought up was that just general microbiology education is very important, right? And that's about personal awareness too, of individuals knowing the impact they can potentially have on a process, whether it's a sterile process or a non-sterile process. They still need to understand that. So I think you know, that foundation piece is the key thing that I would focus on, just like when you build a house, right? If you build a strong foundation, then everything after that can kind of work in succinct with that strong foundation that you've laid the groundwork for.
Okay, thank you. That's some really good insights there. So perhaps we go to Helen next.
Yeah. So, you know, I think it's excellent what Fred just said there about that structure, the foundations, and then the governance processes and the feedback loop. And one of the things I'd like to pull out as really key is the feedback loop, because you can have a very nicely designed sort of status. On paper it looks great, but reality, you need to understand what's going on, and you need that feedback of systems that monitor that and show that you are in control. So you can make your plan, design it, but then you need that information that's constantly telling you, am I drifting from my design state, and where's that coming from, and how you might need to react to that. So I would say a really key element within the process is that it has this ongoing feedback that keeps going around and telling you where you are in that process.
It's a nice analogy. Miriam.
Yeah, and I think to build on the concept of the foundation, is what is your foundation? And that's really good understanding of the process that you're doing the contamination control strategy for. And that's not something we as microbiologists can do alone. We've got to work with people from different skill areas. We've got to speak to engineers, we've got to speak to production, really lay that foundation with good understanding of the process, and then ICHQ9 risk assessment, and use that to highlight where your key risks are, which may need additional control in your CCS and additional attention. But, you know, as we've already heard, you know, that continuous feedback loop, ideally you're looking for what your state of normal is, and are you still there? You know, have you drifted? So how you use that data, not just about collecting it, it's understanding